Hey everyone, Jake Hosmer here with LPT Realty, and it is time to take a look at what happened in 2024 with our local real estate market. And is that moving us into a housing market that is crashing or booming? Well, I'll let you make that decision, but what do you say we just go ahead and get started and take a look at what happened in 2024? Let's get started. All right, well, first things first, let's take a look at how last year compared to the year before. So you can see active listings, total amount for 2024 was up 7.7% from 2023. Sold listings were about the same, just an increase of 0.2%. But if you look at the sales prices, you can see median was up 4.1%, average was up 5.2%, and the absorption rate, which again is how we measure inventory to come out and see to calculate whether we're in a buyer's market or seller's market, you can see that was a 32.9% increase. And so the slowdown in sales combined with the slight uptake in number of homes for sale is why you saw a big jump in that absorption rate. However, keep in mind that a balanced market is considered an absorption rate of around 6%, so somewhere between 5 and 7%. So while we did go, if you have a huge increase, we're still only at just under 3 months of inventory, which is not near a balanced 6%, which is why you still saw some price increases over the past year. But let's dig into that data just a little bit more. So if you look at the active listing count, again, you can see that 2024 we did better than the last 2 years, but we're still nowhere near pre-COVID numbers. You can see that green line is 2019. The solid blue line is what would be considered a balanced market based on the number of current sales. And if we look at the number of new listings, you can see that it's really trending right along where most of the paces of the last 4 years. And again, this is the number of monthly new listings hitting the market for sale. It's tanking here at the end of the year, but you can see it's done that over every year for the last 4 years and even beyond that. Not a lot of people wanting to list their home during the holidays. If we look at the pending listings, you can see that that's actually slending. That's actually lower than the previous few years, which means we do actually have fewer buyers buying homes in the last few months than we have seen for the previous years. But again, the trend is still following right along the trends of previous years. And I'll get to more of that trends here in a little bit. Now I am rushing through these simply because I know nobody wants to watch a half-hour video on market stats, so I'm trying to get the information that you need without any of the fluff. If we look at the number of the sales pace per month, again, that is lower than previous years as well, which is why we've seen an uptick in the number of inventory or homes staying on the market. But if we look at this, so this is looking at the rolling 12-month average per month sales. You can see that it spiked during 2021 and 2022, started coming down in 2023. And here in 2024, it has just returned to the pre-COVID pace. So what am I trying to say? It feels like things have slowed down immensely, but that's just because of how crazy it was from, half of 2020 all the way through the beginning of 2023. But if you look at it compared to years prior to that, we are hitting the sales pace of previous years when we were what I would call more normal market. And the same thing when you look at the average sales price. If you look at this, you can tell that it's up higher, but it's definitely not too much more than the previous years. Same thing with monthly home price appreciation. It's been a little bit different. If you look at the median sales, and here's another 12-month average. So this looks at This is a rolling 12-month average of median sales price. You can see the overall trend has been upward. So even though we've seen some months in the past year where sales prices were lower than the same month in the previous year, the overall trajectory has still been increasing sales price. But you can see um, that it is increasing at not the same speed that it was from 2020 through 2020 through 2020, the beginning of 2024. Sorry, you can see that that line has tapered off now, and I expect it to be about the same. I will say when I'm looking at this and kind of trying to look at, I'll show you one other bit of data. If you look at, I don't think I have a slide for it, but if you look at pricing and sales over the last quarter, you'll see that the last quarter of the year was really slow and very much down as far as numbers of sales and median and average sales price compared to the same quarter of 2023. So we ended the year with a pretty big slowdown, which makes me think this median sales price is going to flatten out a lot through 2025. I don't think we're going to see much price gain. My own personal prediction is we'll probably see a little bit of negative sales price growth throughout the year, but over the overall picture for 2025 will be fairly flat to slight increase in pricing over the year. We'll see if I'm right. So, and the reason for that is again, sales are starting to slow down, but also the pace of new homes coming on the market is slowed down. So the inventory is fairly stagnant right now. And I think that has a lot to do with mortgage rates being where they are. If they're up above 7%, seems to really slow the market down a lot. So depending on where mortgage rates go in 2025, I don't think anybody knows. I quit listening to the experts because they've been wrong for the last 3 years because things just aren't working like they normally do. So I don't see much change. I think probably still a fairly volatile mortgage rate. I don't think it's going to drop much below where it's at. I mean, I think if we got to 6.5%, I think that would get the market moving a bit more. If it goes below that, I don't know. I don't know how likely that is. One thing I will say though is, and I've said this for the last 2 years, that sub 3% mortgage rate was a anomaly, and we're not likely to see that again. And but the other side of that is, you saw we were still only just under 3 months of inventory. If those mortgage rates do drop significantly, let's say they get down to 5% or 4.5%, that's buyers have been saving up money based on the current mortgage rate. That's going to make it much more affordable for the buy a home. That's going to bring more buyers onto the market, which is going to bring more competition while we still haven't fully recovered to a balanced market yet. So what I mean by that is a big drop in mortgage rates is going to have a corresponding big increase in the amount of sales happening, which will put strain on our inventory levels again. I hope that makes sense. Now, what are the experts saying? Well, there's a few things I want to point out if I can find my slide. So this is Freddie Mac. They pretty much expect house prices to continue to grow, although at a slower pace, which is what I think is we'll probably see here locally as well, barring some unforeseen economic circumstance, either in the positive or the negative. If we look at this is Mike Simonson, he's a founder at Altumus Research. He says 2025 is poised to continue the trend of rising inventory across the country, and he's expecting we'll probably finish around 15% more homes available than we have now. So rising inventory is a good thing for buyers, but the good thing for sellers is nobody's expecting a huge increase. That's just 10 to 15%. So in our local market, that would be about another 1,000 homes per year, as far as that goes. So As far as mortgage rates, Lawrence Yun, chief economist with NAR, says that they've averaged above 6% for the past 24 months. So buyers are no longer waiting for or expecting mortgage rates to fall substantially. Hopefully, if you've been listening to me, you've gotten that message as well. But furthermore, buyers are in a better position to negotiate as the market shifts away from a seller's market. Again, it feels like we're out of a seller's market, but when you look at the data, we're not there yet. But what that means is buyer sentiment is increasing. So buyers are able to negotiate on price. They're able to negotiate on inspections and repairs. So they're no longer having to sit in the passenger seat as far as buying a home and just do whatever the seller wants. So those are very good things and healthy things in the market, which is making it feel like we're no longer in a seller's market, but we definitely still are. And like I said, if rates shift low by big amounts, then we're likely to see that feeling return of being in a hectic seller's market. So that's really it. Like I said, I didn't want to make this a long video, but I did want to um, get the overall picture of what 2024 looked like. It was a crazy year for real estate. Lots of things going on in the courts in real estate, lots of things going on in the market in real estate. Plus, it was a presidential election year. And so typically the year following a presidential election, the market tends to move up. So there tends to be more sales, prices tend to go up just because there's a lot of people that wait until the election is over to make any type of big financial decisions. Now that it's over, we're going to see those people that were waiting on a home purchase to get until after the election are going to be looking to either buy or sell or both now that the presidential election is over and we're into a new year. So there's usually a bounce in the real estate market the year following a presidential election, which is why I said I think we'll still see a slight increase in home sales prices, probably in the number of sales as well. As far as the inventory levels, I'm not really sure. I'm not seeing anything that points to a huge flurry of homes hitting the market ready for someone to purchase them. I think if you look at the pace of new listings, it's been fairly unchanged even throughout the craziness. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I think it should be a very interesting year for the real estate market, which basically means keep watching so that you can stay updated. I'm not going to do these monthly anymore. My plan is to do them quarterly because I think monthly just doesn't give enough data to really talk about. And you know, I still don't have a huge viewership on these, so I'd rather spend my time trying to help people buy and sell homes instead of doing videos all the time. So that's going to move these to a quarterly market update, which I think will give better data for you. And also, if you do like these videos, please like them. Please share them with friends. Please share them on your social media so that others can be well-informed buyers or sellers in our local real estate market. And as always, if you're looking for somebody to guide you through this process as it's changed and gotten more hectic over the years, then I would love to apply for that job, working for you or for your friends, helping them realize their dream of owning a new home, buying their first home, or moving on with their life to their next home. I hope that this information has been helpful and that you've enjoyed it. Again, please like and share. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.